Very low-level opposition. So in this case, McCracken decided he's coming over here to the United States. He's going to have to fight good people, and this is good people right here. Lonnie Beasley, this guy can fight. His problem was, we mentioned in our open tonight, inactivity. But if he's in shape, boy, I tell you, he's a very skilled fighter. Barry, you've seen him many times yourself. This guy can box, and it's a tough fight.
Yeah, I really can. The thing that strikes me about Lonnie Beasley is he's a guy who either will fight up to or down to his opposition. Tonight, he's fighting a guy that he will need to fight up to, and he's very capable of doing that. I really do think that this is going to be a very entertaining fight. So that's coming up, 10 rounds, middleweight division, McCracken and Beasley. Been quite a night here in Studio City, and we're looking for more.
Frank.
And we'll call it co-main event. What the heck?
Yeah.
Lonnie Beasley and Robert McCracken. This is our main event. It is in the middleweight division. Lonnie Beasley, a guy who comes out of Detroit and has fought for the most part in Detroit, new management now, and he really feels this is his opportunity. He's a very outspoken guy, and if you start talking to Lonnie Beasley, he's going to convince you that he can win the fight, and that's no different tonight. And quite frankly, every time I have talked to him, he has convinced me that he can win the fight, and he's gone out and won the fight. But this is going to be a pretty stern test for Lonnie Beasley, and I think you really hit on it. It's which Lonnie Beasley is going to show up.
I think another question, too, really, is that this guy has been at his best as a 154-pounder, Barry. So not only is he seeing what happens as an inactive fighter, but seeing what happens in this weight class at 160.
And he's busy and gives you a lot of different angles, but there was always some question as to his power, even at the lower weight divisions, and of course you really have to question it at 160. As to Robert McCracken, he comes here from Birmingham, England. He has 19 knockouts in his 30 fights, but really has not made his reputation as what you would call a banger.
No, in fact, it was very shocking that last fight that he had, that he was able to knock out Joey Stevenson in one round. But Joey Stevenson is a club fighter, no question about that. And so we will see how he does against, I think both these guys are really are fighting opposition that ranks right up there with any they've ever faced. Certainly in McCracken's case, I think better than he's ever faced.
And the pressure really is more on McCracken than it is on Beasley. He needs to impress, and he needs to impress quickly here in the United States and really open some eyes. And of course now he's got a national television audience to do that. Let's meet him officially now. We take it to the center of the ring, and Thomas Stryver. Thomas?
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Sportsman's Lodge here in Studio City, California, America presents, and the undisputed, undefeated king of beers, Budweiser, proudly present to you our featured bout. It is scheduled for 10 rounds in the middleweight division, and it is sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission. Chairman is Ernest H. Weiner, the vice chairman is Tirso del Junco Jr., and the commissioner in attendance is Robert Rosenthal. The executive officer is Michael Wells, and the matchmaker is Tom Brown. The physicians at ringside are Dr. Paul Wallace, Dr. Blair Cranston, and Dr. Adam Carnes. The timekeeper is John Litchie, and the 3 judges assigned scoring on a 10-point must system are Larry Rosadia, Lou Filippo, and Dick Young. When the bell rings, the referee in charge of the action will be Marty Salmon. Introducing to you first, fighting to my left out of the red corner, he's wearing the gold trunks with black lettering and weighed in at 158½ pounds. Hailing from Detroit, Michigan, he has a professional record of 27 wins, 4 losses, 2 draws, with 8 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Lonnie Honeybee Beasley. And his opponent, fighting directly across from him out of the blue corner tonight, he's wearing solid black trunks and weighed in at 161 pounds. Coming to us from Birmingham, England, he is undefeated with 30 wins and 19 of them coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the number 3 ranked middleweight in the world by the WBC, Robert McCracken. Once again, your referee in charge, Marty Salmon, to give the instructions.
Okay, any punches down here is not a low blow. He's wearing his trunks high. Okay, gentlemen, you both know the rules. I want a good, clean bout. Come on, boxing at the bell, and good luck to you.
And with that, we take a look at the tail of the tape, brought to you by Budweiser. McCracken, usually taller than his opponents. Not much taller, however, than Lonnie Beasley. He does come in 2½ pounds heavier than Beasley, however, and 3 years younger than Beasley, and the reach advantage, usually McCracken's, will be Beasley's tonight. 10-point must system here in the state of California. There will be no 3 knockdown rule, nor any standing 8 count. A fighter can be saved at the bell only in the final round. Either the referee or the doctor can stop it. The headbutt rule, we go to the cards after the 3rd round. We're underway. Interesting contrast in styles here. Both these guys really prefer to fight at long range, and so that old term ring generalship, I think, is going to come into play here.
And it just makes me wonder if McCracken's success that he had in the last fight in terms of getting a man out of there so quickly, if he'll try to turn into more of a puncher now.
Well, and there's also that thing of so many fighters, either when they come to the United States or are trying to take that next step up, or on national television for the first time will say they feel they got to get a guy out of there, that it's not enough just to win a decision.
But as you can see, he's got the what would be the traditional or typical European style. He's a stand-up fighter, stands up very straight, technique good, utilizes a long left jab, likes to fight from the outside.
And Beasley, a guy likes the circle, will throw his punches outside in. Pretty good jab. Beasley, I have to say, a little bit thicker than the last time I saw him. Always relied on his quickness and a pretty good jab. Both prefer to counterpunch, actually. Neither one a guy who's necessarily going to bring the fight to the other, and I think that's what we're in the story may be told here.
Again, this weight may not be the best for Lonnie Beasley to be up fighting around 158 1/4. He's only fought heavier than this at one time in his career, and his best fighting has been done in the junior middleweight level, right when he weighed around 153.
And he used to be very quick. I remember seeing him fight Tony Marshall. He fought him a couple of times, actually, and 2 guys who matched up very well. Neither a big banger, both very quick, and Beasley actually out-quicked Marshall. And now, of course, as you said, he's up 6 pounds, which is no small thing in these weight divisions.
Beasley used to be managed by Jackie Cowan, who also, of course, managed James Toney to the World Championship, and Jackie doing most of her managing now in terms of female fighters.
Feeling out round this first round.
Beasley's last fight as he turns to southpaw here now to try to confuse McCracken a little was back in September of '96. He fought in Australia against a pretty talented Australian fighter, Troy Waters, who has fought Terry Norris and Felix Trinidad for the title. And he gave Waters a great go in that fight. It was very close. It was only 1 point difference, but Beasley dropped that decision, and he dropped out of sight after that.
Yes, he did. And just as resurfaced now with the old management problems. Both men kind of waiting on the other here.
So it's just been a battle of jabs. That's all there's been in this round, practically.
Well, both these guys like to counterpunch, and it's interesting because that makes somebody's got to lead. End of the first round, and we'll take you into the corner of Robert McCracken. Bill Torrance in that corner, one of the bright minds in the sport of boxing.
Okay. I want you to get a little closer. Tuck your chin in a little more. I want you to get that chin in a little more. Get a little closer to this guy, okay? And start feigning him a little bit. Yeah. Okay? You understand, brother? Yeah. Get a little closer, start feigning. Get the chin down the mouth. I'll do this round.
Get my jab working.
Yeah. Get the jab working. Okay? All right? Yeah. All right. Stay loose. Good and loose out there.
In the corner of Lonnie Beasley, they want McCracken to get closer. Let's listen.
You're reaching a little too much, all right? Step in there with it a little bit. Looking good, baby. Looking good. Good. You're going to do what you're doing, baby. Got it?
Well, both corners want their guy to get a little bit closer, basically, which is not a bad idea.
And Phil Torrance also with a little technical advice telling McCracken not only get closer, but keep your chin tucked in a little more. He doesn't want that chin sticking out.
First round, very difficult round to score because neither man really did much business. Now we'll see who can follow the advice of his corner better, and the fact that they're closer should make a difference.
The retirement of Eddie Futch, that means that Phil Torrance now will be the #1 man in a lot of the corners where Eddie worked, and Phil was kind of, I guess you could say, the junior partner of that partnership.
one of the great people in the sport, Eddie Futch. And it's a sport that doesn't get its just due for all the good people that are in it, to tell you the truth.
There are a lot of good people in it, but a lot of noisy people in it who unfortunately get most of the play.
I don't know what they say about the fish, right? I'm not going to get into that.
Neither man has been able to land an effective punch outside of the jab. Each guy's been able to land with the jab, but that's it.